Hello, you beautiful people. How are you today? My name is Honest Am, and I am the creator and editor-in-chief of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a newsletter geared towards millennial women who are truly trying to get their shit together. And today I have another episode to you guys. I am starting a series called How to Make a Change, because I know that when you are trying to make this change or trying to move yourself from one place to another, it can be very difficult, but fear not, Honest Am is here. I just like that. Really quick ground rules. You know, I have my notes. I love to have notes, but really quick ground rules. One, I may mispronounce some things. If it hasn't stopped Charlemagne, it's not going to stop me. Two, I am not a therapist, pastor, or guru. I am just somebody who is sitting in her room trying to give some information, just trying to re-give the information that I have found, and I hope that it's to help you. And very, very last thing, positivity only. If this is something that you do not agree with, I just ask that you just kindly just move on. No need to just be like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's just, now that we got that all out the way, last thing, because I am a part of Honestly Sis, if you are interested in learning more about Honestly Sis or learning more about me, I just ask that you click the links in the description box. It's all right there. So today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about being stuck. What does it mean to be stuck? I'm going to define what it is, being stuck, and I'm also going to try to give you I'm not really going to go too in depth about how to remove yourself from being stuck, because I feel like the next series, like the next video will just build upon that. But I'm definitely going to define what it means to be stuck, what is the quarter life crisis, and what does it mean to be having a spiritual awakening. Then I'm going to talk about if you find that you are in any of those categories, I'm going to tell you why reading the Alchemist is so important. I'm going to tell you all about the power of reading the Alchemist, and just tell you a little bit about the premise, break that down a little bit, and then end with the message from one of my decks. So from my Abraham's deck. So just to try to pull some cards. Am I saying that right? I'm going to pull from my Esther and Jerry Hicks deck. And then it's a money and law of attraction. And I am pulling that card to try to help us remove lack mentality, to try to get away from scarcity, try to move out of our survival mind state a little bit. You don't have to look at it. Everything can be time step below. If you want to jump around, if you want to come back, totally fine. So let's get into it. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is, what does it mean to be stuck? So I went into, literally, I googled stuck. We know that it's the past, or it's the past tense of stick. That doesn't matter for our for what we're doing right now. But it says to be unable. I'm just gonna pick this up. It's to be stuck means to be unable to progress in a task or to find an answer or a solution to something. It also means to remain in a stagnant condition, failing to progress. And it is typically perceived as tedious and unpleasant. So I actually had two times in my life where I felt extremely stuck. And that is actually why I wanted to start doing these videos. I have Honestly Sis, and I really explained in great detail a lot about my experience of awakening, or my experience on finding my path. But people don't like reading, so I just want to find different type of avenues to get this information across. But the reason why I want to do this series, and I find it so important, is because I look at my life right now. I am 30 years old. Right now I am working on my first novel. I have my newsletter that is doing good. I just enrolled in acting classes. Like, I am doing all of these things to move myself towards my dream. But 7 years ago, I didn't even think that was possible. And not even 7 years ago, probably take it back to 10 years, not even take that back 10 to 12 years ago, I didn't even think that, if you would have told me the person that I am today, that I would be doing these things, I would probably just laugh at you and be like, what? Like, that sounds crazy. Like, why am I writing? Why is she, like, it would just all sound very crazy. But the thing was, like, the very first time I realized that I felt stuck was I was a junior at Hampton University. I was doing a personal finance class, and we were doing this exercise where we had to kind of put your major, it was a very simple exercise. You put your major on a sheet of paper, and then around that you pick all of the careers that you can do with your major. And I researched and I kept doing different stuff, and I kept realizing that I didn't want to do any of the things that my major was doing. But I felt like as a junior, I just couldn't. I felt like as a junior, I was in a 5-year MBA program. I felt like it was too late to be like, I made a mistake. I didn't pick the right major. So I felt like I had no choice but to continue on this path of I was going to be a project accountant. And then the second time I felt stuck was I became a project accountant, and I was working in there, and I just felt like, literally, it just felt like my soul was like caving in on itself. Like, every morning was just such a struggle. Like, sometimes I would cry in the morning. I would frequently leave and just go sit in the on-call room because I just couldn't believe that this is what my life had become. And I just felt like at the time, I didn't have a passion. I didn't have a hobby. Like, I was just working. Like, I just felt so lost, and I didn't know where to go, and I didn't know how to get myself out of it. And I felt really upset that I even got myself in a position. That is what it means to be stuck. Like, that is my definition of being stuck. Like, you feel like you're unable to pivot, you're unable to move, and you just can't get out. That's what it means to be stuck. And then that kind of leads me into, depending on what age you're in, that can lead you into a quarter life crisis. Now, a quarter life crisis is defined according to google.com as is anxiety, is anxiety involving blah, 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 blah. Here we go. In popular psychology, a quarter life crisis is a crisis involving anxiety over the direction and quality of one's life, which is most commonly experienced in a period ranging from a person's 20s up to their mid-30s. So if you find yourself in the age of 20 to say 35, and you find yourself that you are you're just not sure about what you're doing, like say you're like me, you went to school, you did the right things, you got this good job that everybody say you're supposed to have, but you're not fulfilled. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. And also, you're not supposed to feel that way. I think that it's so important, the people that you surround yourself with. It's not because, I'm not even going to try to make up an excuse, but the reason why it is so important for you to be mindful of the people that you are around is because you can put yourself in a position where you don't even realize that something is wrong because everybody is doing the same thing. So this dysfunction is actually disguised as function. And let me break that down a little bit more. So like I just said, I graduated from a university. I have 2 degrees. I knew a lot of people who had their degrees, and I also knew a lot of people that were not happy with the careers that they picked. I knew a lot of people who were upset or that just was like, yeah, this just wasn't what I thought it would be, but fuck it, like I'm here. And if I would have continued to only be around those type of people, I probably would have never, I'm not going to say never, I'm going to give myself some credit. Maybe I would have eventually got it together, but because I was around those people, I probably would have just been like, well, everybody feels this way. It's nothing wrong with me feeling this way. I just need to find a way to just get through. Because, I would talk to my mom, I would talk to my dad, and everybody was like, oh, you'll be fine. That's just how it is. Oh, that's why. Okay. Another thing, random side note, becoming. Michelle Obama, she talked about this same thing when she had graduated and how she became this lawyer and like she did all these things, and it's like not being able or being unable to pivot as you are in a position. And like her mom was just like, you make the money, and that was just everybody thing. Like, well, you girl, you are at a top accounting firm, like you're fine, you're living a life, you're looking good, but I didn't feel like I was on the inside. And the reason why I say it's important to have certain people around you is because at that exact same time as I was going through this period of discomfort, I was also around my partner who didn't go to a university, but he had this passion and he was working on this dream, and he was he was spending days and nights, and he had people around him. And I was just like, wow, like I don't have anything in my life that I even remotely feel passionate about. Like I just realized that I didn't have anything that outside of my job that I was even working on, that I was working towards. And then that made me ask those questions of, well, what is the purpose of this? Did I really bust my ass, get myself in all this debt to get up and go into an office every single day to work with people I don't even care about? Like all of these questions were coming to me. And that is, I feel like that's the quarter life crisis, is when you start to ask yourself, like, what am I doing? Where am I trying to go in my life? What is happening? Then that leads us into a spiritual awakening. I feel like I layered these things this way because I feel like those are the phases you go through. I feel like you're going to feel a little stuck. You're going to feel like you don't know which way to go. Then you are going to start questioning, like you're going to start questioning your existence and like what is truly your purpose here on this world, because we are all given a purpose here. Then that is going to lead you to a spiritual awakening. Now, some people like to say, oh, I've seen all the memes of spiritual awakening and it's all these scary memes or somebody looking crazy. But I love the definition for spiritual awakening by urbandictionary.com. It says it's simply a shift in your perception. And that's all it is. It's you realizing that, oh, I can try to control this. I can try to get this. I can try to change this situation. That's a spiritual awakening. And it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be a bad and a scary thing. I think the reason why it is so bad and the reason why it's so scary is because you have to look yourself in the face and ask yourself, how did you get here? Like I had to sit down and ask myself, well, you knew since you were a kid since you were a little girl, you have dreamed about being an actress. Since you were a little girl, you have sat in a mirror and did speeches about your Oscars. Since you were a little girl, you have begged your dad to go to little movies and take you here and do all these things. But why did you not do anything in your life to try to make that dream a reality? And I think that's a hard ass question to ask, because at the end of the day, the spiritual awakening is, it doesn't matter like who your mom is. It doesn't matter who your dad is. It don't even matter where you live. You have to ask yourself, why am I not doing the thing I really, really want to do? And if you feel stuck, it's probably because when I was feeling stuck, and I told you guys, I didn't know, like I didn't have a hobby. I wasn't writing. I wasn't doing anything. It's so funny. As a kid, I used to read books all the time. Literally when I graduated college, when I was in college, I never touched a book. I never read a book. It was only when I was just feeling so much discomfort that I finally be like, you know what? Maybe I should read a book. Something that I used to do so much as a kid. And I think we all do that. But I always tell people, I said this in my first video, I said it plenty of times, and honestly, sis, if you do not know what you are supposed to do in this world, and if you are confused about it, think about what you used to do as a kid. think about it. Like, you were so pure as a child, and those intentions, like, you didn't know any better. You didn't have any limits. You didn't have any expectations. You were just gravitating towards stuff because it's your natural interest. And I'm gonna tell you why I truly believe that you were gravitating towards stuff and these were your natural interests. It's because when we came here, we were all given a script. We were all given an instruction or a personal legend of saying, hey, these are the things that you are going to do. You do these things, and once you do these things, you are going to accomplish your soul mission. You are going to ascend, you are going to help the planet, you are going to help your people, and everything is going to be good. But I can't let you go in there remembering this. So we're going to have to wipe your memory. You're going to be born again. But the thing is, as a child, we are still so connected. Like our ego is so small. We are not attached to our ego. We don't have those things. So as a child, everything that you do are just so natural. It's your natural image. It's your natural interest, because your child, your soul, it's remembering that, oh yeah, it was some stuff that we were supposed to do. Oh yeah, it was some things, some interests, some hobbies that I was supposed to do. But as we get older, as we learn who we are, as we start having reality, and we start kind of assimilating into earth, we forget that. We forget those soul desires. So I think that the reason why we get to these points of feeling stuck, we get to these points of feeling frustrated and depressed, because our soul is like literally trying to scream at you like, hey, we are not where we were supposed to be. We're in the wrong position. Like, I think so often we try to avoid our emotions, and it took me a long time, because I've always been the type of person that, oh, just stay happy, just say this, just say that, it doesn't matter. If something bad happened, oh, it's okay, I'll cry for a minute, but I'm just gonna be happy, and I'm not gonna think about it no more. And that thing didn't happen. That gets us in trouble. Like, we can't keep saying, oh no, I'm not gonna think about it, that doesn't matter. No, we have to keep thinking about it. We owe it to ourselves to go back and be like, why am I sad? Why am I frustrated? And 9 times out of 10, it's because something is not in alignment with your life. Something, you're off. You're off a little bit. And there's nothing wrong about it. It's nothing wrong. The thing that I wanted to talk about the quarter life crisis is, I think that people I got very down on myself. I was very mad, because I was just like, well, why didn't you believe in yourself enough? Why didn't you love yourself enough? You wasn't brave enough. You didn't take any risks. You just did whatever people told you to do. You just tried to satisfy your mom. And I was really beating myself up. That's not necessary. Because as I get closer, as this person in my 7th year on this journey, I realize that every single thing happened for a reason. And the same thing is for you. Every single thing, you had to go through that shitty job, because somewhere along that line at that shitty job, you got those skills to do X, Y, and Z. And that skill to do X, Y, and Z is going to help you when you get down the road to AB. You hear what I'm saying? So it's not even a matter of ever feeling like you are not where you're supposed to be. It's never a matter of being like you are off the wrong path. It's just a matter of you being aware and not being aware. Your emotions is just trying to communicate to you. It's trying to remind you of that personal legend. That's all it is. And honestly, if you find yourself watching this video, there's a reason why you're watching this video. There's a reason why your soul or yourself, whatever you want, if that word soul makes you feel weird inside, it's a reason why you decided to go Google or go look on YouTube about being stuck or being in a quarter life crisis, because you are looking for information. You are seeking this. And it's the reason you came across this video, because it is time for you to wake up and to move into action. And that's why you know, people always say, read The Alchemist, read The Alchemist. The Alchemist is such a great book, this, but they don't tell you why. And that's why in these next 2 to 3 parts of this series, I'm really going to explain to you why it is so important for you to use The Alchemist, how we can take these lessons and these tools in The Alchemist to help us on our journey to living our best life. So the next thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is The Alchemist. Y'all, I don't even know where my book is. Okay, so I lost my book. But anyways, the premise of The Alchemist is... Okay, I don't even know where my book is. But I don't know. Maybe my boyfriend took it. But anyways, the premise of The Alchemist is that it was this shepherd boy named Santiago. He was living this life. He had left home. He had traveled all of these places. He had this bomb ass, this big flock of shepherds. I mean, he was the best shepherd in the land, but he kept having this reoccurring dream about finding this treasure. He was having this dream so much that he was like, I have to go see this gypsy. Like, I got to go figure out, like, you know, like, this shit is driving me crazy. Like, what does it mean? But in the midst of that, but while he's going to go see this gypsy, he's looking at his sheep, he's looking at his herd, and he's just like, you know what? They don't need me. Like, these sheep will follow anybody. They're not loyal to me. They can't do anything to me. And when he goes and see this gypsy, the lady tells him that, oh, well, that means you have to go find this treasure. As he's leaving the gypsy, he runs into this elderly, mysterious man, and he says that you need to go you have to go get this treasure because it's your personal legend. Now, the reason why I love The Alchemist, and the reason why I feel like everybody or anybody who is trying to make a major change in their life should read The Alchemist, is because that very beginning part, where especially people who have went away to school, like, I want to talk to y'all because that's where I come from. That's my background. We went to school, we got the degrees, we did what we were supposed to do, whatever the fuck that means. So we did all these things, we did the right things, we got this bomb ass job that's supposed to be amazing, we got a great apartment, we driving this bomb car, but we not fulfilled. Like, we realized that this job, just like those sheep, can go on without us. We realized that, yeah, we may have been more advanced and we may have moved out of our neighborhood circles from when we were a kid, but what are we really doing? Like, where are we really advancing? Like, where are we really fulfilled? And so I think, like Santiago, we all have these reoccurring dreams. We all have these fantasies, these loops that play in our head, and we think that they're just larger than life. Like, the thing is, like, I was never stuck. Like, the funny part is that, like, I've been saying this for the last 2 months, is that the funny thing is I felt so stuck, but yet I wasn't. You know, like, I felt like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I did know what I was supposed to do. Since I was a kid, I wanted to be an actress. The truth was, I just felt like I was that dream was too big for me to do, that was just too far-fetched, that I was being crazy and dreaming big and trying to make the impossible impossible. Like, that was just a fantasy. That was the truth. Like, I didn't think it was possible. But I can sit here today and tell you that just like in The Alchemist, when you make a choice that this is something that you are going to go after, the universe will bend and wake the fuck up and do whatever you need to do to make it happen. When I finally realized that, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to be a project accountant. I'm not getting a hoe ass CPA degree. I'm not about to continue this on. I'm just going to keep riding it out until I figure out what I want to do. When I realized that, at first I said, oh, I got to go back to school because I got a degree. So I think that's just what I'm supposed to do all the time. Oh, I have to go back to school. No, I didn't have to go back to school. I said that there was a workshop. I went to this thing for work, and it was this lady talking about, if anybody want to be an actor, if you want to be a serious actor, everybody go to the Detroit Rep Theater. I was like, that, listen, and that's the other thing. Listen, you have to listen to the clues. You have to, like, these nudges, like, just like something nudged you to click on this video, just like something nudged you to do this, like, it's for a reason. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is by design. Like, people say, oh, the internet is evil. No, God works in everything. You think God don't know about how the fuck work YouTube? He created the person to create YouTube. You may think that, oh, there's an algorithm and all of these things that got you to this video, but let me let you know that God knew you was going to find this video. God knew that I was going to make this video before I even thought about doing it. It's all by design. That's why you have to pay attention. That's why you have to listen. This lady told me that I had to go to the Detroit Rep Theater. I went, guess what? The workshop they didn't even have the workshop. Like, it was canceled. They said, oh, we don't have funding, but we'll put your name on a list because, maybe we may come back. But real story, that's what she said. 2 years ago, all of a sudden the funding came back. 3 years ago, all of a sudden, the Detroit Rep Theater is in full-fledged, and I keep getting these memos, these notices, because I'm on the list, because I did it before, saying, hey, come to this acting workshop. But it was still something inside of me that was like, that dream is too big. But why? Why? Why do you feel like you can't have what you keep thinking about? Why do you feel like what is for you, you can't have? Why do you feel like it's unattainable? Why do you feel like you can't get it? Because let me tell you today, even if you feel like it is impossible, it is possible. But you have to be willing to make the steps. You have to be willing to at least try. I feel like everybody should watch The Miracle Workers. It's 7 episodes, 30 minutes. It's really quick, TBS. But Miracle Workers show you that the universe can, the premise of the Miracle Workers is that it is showing you heaven Inc. And pretty much Jesus has given up on the earth, and he is going to blow it up in like 12 days. But before he blows it, he has this little thing that if he can get these 2 awkward people to kiss, then he won't blow up the world. Literally, these angels were trying to do everything in their power to get these people to kiss and to be together, and they doing all these things, but they couldn't do anything until those 2 people started to move. Like, literally, it got to the last episode. I'm not even going to tell you what the last episode, but it got to the final point where even the angels couldn't do anything, and they had to just trust that everything will work out, because that just lets you know that even the angels know that there is a larger movement and a larger plan at play. All they can do is just help nudge you along the way. But if you remain stuck, if you remain feeling like, oh, I can't do it, then you ain't gonna do it. But the good thing is that there's information out here. You don't have to feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. It's okay. Honest Am is here. I'm gonna help you. We're gonna figure out what to do. So I say all that to say that the Alchemist is pretty much the Bible. Don't tell nobody I said that. The Bible. The Alchemist is pretty much the Bible for anybody trying to go after a dream or trying to make a major change, because it tells you, you may be feeling like you've done everything, but there is something deep down inside of you that tells you that something's missing. But in order to figure out what's that thing missing, in order to go find your treasure, in order to go find your treasure, you have to move. You have to let go of everything. And that's the last thing that I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna go into the cards. But I'm gonna end it at this point on the Alchemist. Santiago, the man, the old wise man, said that you have to sell all of your sheep. You have to give up everything that you have right now and go sail away to the ship to go find his treasure. Why was it so important for that part? It was important because what the old man is saying is that you have to let go of these things, your old way of thinking. And if you say, oh, why I have to let that go? Because maybe if if your old way of thinking was the right way of thinking, you wouldn't be feeling the way that you're feeling right now. So it obviously means that there's times to make change. We have to let go of those things that we learned. We have to let go of those old thoughts that our parents are trying to tell us. And let me just say, don't feel bad. Like, don't try to shame your parent because you're like, oh, they don't get me. They know. They're just from another era. Like, they're just another era. And eventually, as they see you move, you may heal them, but you can't help them unless you help yourself. So I say all that to say, if you are feeling stuck, if you feel like you are experiencing a quarter life crisis or a spiritual awakening, welcome. It is okay. Everything is going to be fine. And if you cannot wait until this next video, I really truly urge you to pick up The Alchemist, start reading that, because get this information for yourself. Even if I'm about to go break down these different parts, go get that information for yourself. Follow me on Instagram at honestlyam. I'm going to start giving videos and giving clips of videos that will give you information to help you start making this transition. I'm also going to make a playlist on here for you to be able to go back to that playlist and go listen to those videos for yourself, because the thing is, like, I may hear something one type of way and interpret it, but you gonna hear it and hear something totally different. So everything that you hear, even from me, what Jay-Z said, he said, question everything you see, even if it's spit by me. And with that said, I kill niggas dead. Like, question everything. Like, I don't care what information I get from it. I don't care who that person say they are, or what qualifications they have. Question it. Go and get the information for yourself. So in that vein, I am going to, every clip of the videos that I post on Instagram, there is going to be a playlist on here called How to Make a Change. Listen to those videos. Start putting them into your daily regimen. Get that good word into your spirit. Until we meet again, I want you guys to really focus on keeping your vibration high. Now, people say, what does it mean to keep your vibration high? Like, the simplest thing is just try to stay away from negativity. People who you don't really necessarily don't make you feel good, try to avoid those people for a little while. Shows that make you feel depressed afterwards, don't do that. If your current situation is making you feel sad, stop thinking about it so much. Try to think about things that make you feel good. Very, very last thing, if you are truly serious about trying to make a change and you do not know what to do and you just feel completely stuck and you don't know how to move, what I want you to do is to go into a dark room or go into a very quiet place. You don't have to get on your knees, but I want you to be very serious about this. And I want you to open your mouth and say out loud, Lord, what is my purpose? Please tell me what to do. And if you tell me what to do, I promise I will follow you. Say those exact words. That is exactly what I did. And I promise you, if you mean it with your heart and if you are serious about it, things will happen. God will start moving. He will remind you that, oh yeah, remember when you were a kid, remember that B2K fan page you used to be on? Remember you used to like writing? Maybe you should start writing again. Oh, a major star. Maybe you should start doing a story. Maybe you should do a newsletter. Maybe you should do a YouTube channel. Hey, I keep sending you fucking notifications to do the Detroit Rep Theater. Maybe you should go fucking sign up. That is how it will start working. But you have to be in tune with your emotions. You have to be willing to move, and you have to move without fear. Until we meet again, go get The Alchemist. Keep your spirits high, and definitely ask that question if you're serious about it. So I'm going to just quickly give us a little, I'm going to go to this deck and see if we just have just anything that can just help us try to just live out our highest good and our soul desire. So Spirit, I come to you today just asking on behalf of all of the viewers that may watch this video. I just ask that, can you give us a word to just allow us to release scarcity mentality? I ask that you give us the word to just remove fear, get us out of bondage, allow us to come out of a survival mentality. God, I just ask that you just please give us a word to just help us until our next video. Give us something to shift our mindset on the positive instead of the negative. Please make it as plain as possible. Also, I want to just send some love and light out to the Crenshaw community, Laura London, Nipsey Hussle. I was feeling kind of like crazy, you know, the days leading up to it, but I just feel I just feel so good. Like I honestly, like I really felt like that the ceremony was perfect. It was alchemy. It made me feel like there's nothing that I can't do. So I hope you feel that way too. All right, guys. So our card that was pulled from us is my career is one of creating a joyful experience. That's beautiful. This for our career people out here. This for these people that went away to school. You may feel like your career have to be in whatever you got your degree in, but no, your career can be in a joyful life experience. And it says, if your dominant intent is to feel joy while you are doing the work, your triad of intentions, freedom, growth, and joy, will come quickly and easily into alignment. See your career as one of creating a joyful life experience. You are not a creator of things or a regenerator of what someone else has created or a gatherer of stuff. You are a creator, and the subject of your creation is your joyful life experience. That is your mission. That is your quest. That is why you are here. Fuck, that was powerful. I love it. Oh my God, y'all. I just love when spirit do that. Let me just read that one more time. You are a let me read this last thing. I want to read this last couple of sentences. It says, you are not a creator of things or a regenerator of what someone else has created, which means you ain't just supposed to be sitting at somebody's job doing a punching their clock because you're trying to make them some money, or a gatherer of stuff, meaning that you are not just supposed to be here because you are accumulating the best house, getting the flyest clothes, having the best driving car. You're not here for none of that shit. You are a creator. And the subject of your creation is the joyful life experience. That is telling you that whatever you are meant to do in your life is supposed to bring you joy. It's going to make you feel happy, and it is going to provide for you and give you money. So it doesn't, let me stop because I'm going to go off. That is your mission. That is your quest. That is why you're here. You are here to figure out how to have a joyful life experience. You are not here to work at a corporate job. You are not here to be the flyest person. You are not here to be on Instagram and be popular. You are here to do something to solve and help the world. That is your quest. That is your mission. I hope you guys have a great day. Until we meet again, the light in me honors and see the light in you. Until we meet again, namaste. Make sure y'all check out Honestly Sis. If you have a letter, if you are experiencing a change, or if another book helps you make a transition, please let me know. Until we meet again, please, please, please be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, and love on somebody. Mwah.